Hello everyone, and welcome to Katawa Shoujo. That's the name that I'm gonna use. Let's grab my water really quickly. One flight of stairs and up, I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the librarian's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Classrooms are marked with signs which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them? Or is it somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose a random direction. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, it's just barely ajar. Actually, doors are made of wood, jars are made of glass. Actually, doors can be made out of glass too. Guess that gets me. If anyone uses wooden jars, isn't that just a barrel? It would make sense for the library to be invitingly open. And while this one's not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside, and I can ask directions, no matter how embarrassing it is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider at this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively feared doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks in, as if groaning from a deep sleep. Though, it's much easier to open than I anticipated. Really oiled up hinges. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room, as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. There she is, boys. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its fullest extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure, taking the center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, like Little Mermaid, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. "Hello there. May I help you?" Staring directly in front of her, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me she's still being separate from the room itself. Wait, did I just read that? Oh, I did actually just read that. Not only is she the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding, I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her. The girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my moments with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have a detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese? As I take my seat, and her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamamaku. I forgot how to say that. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, one which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Satel. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a quick nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality and the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times. As I lean sideways to see around her, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's another thing to see how everyone else seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problems working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workabouts for problems I had never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about doing the work, she seems pleased following the correct process of preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates, told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup, indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. Before setting, she gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table and teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character, I imagine. You'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. It's a very nice little still. Why do I get the feeling like it's constantly, like this window is constantly like zooming in? Nevertheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it would be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well, I guess I should try and ask her about it myself, as it really doesn't seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, Mr. and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech by my account. On my account. Sure, sorry, I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I liked to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duty as a class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her manners seem to be completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed, calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, the dogs barking in the background club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones such as art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Good, what a relief. I've really let my guard down around this girl, such as things slip out. The fact seems to only amuse her. See that little precious smile? Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it, as Lily does the same. Oh hey, scene transition. It's later in the day now. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room as a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time too. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance. But Lily seems likely to know in any case. It's true. It's open 6 until 6:30 during the weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might be going to in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod. Her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. That's okay, you keep bumping into, romance girls. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. I've actually met a couple of blind people. Most of them have been pretty alright. I don't know the extent of their blindness, but you know. There was this one blind guy named Butch, and he was a bit of a campus celebrity for being super chill and also, you know, putting himself through school at a, you know, older age than most. A non-traditional student, as they say. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. This must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. I wonder what you do if you need like a regular cane and a walking cane. Do you have like two different canes? I don't know. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take us long for us to arrive to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we go file in. To the left of the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right, it easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here either. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air, since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange noise. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under the desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and I was looking for both of them, and you came in and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, it's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically, trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets, as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get the message? Message? Oh. Was that my desktop, or was that a sound effect? I'm not sure if I just got mail or if that was like a message that is supposed to play in the game. Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I missed her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic. I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she She visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget it. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested. This is too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get, but her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, so there are lots of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelf all of them. It's so troublesome and they waste so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows the revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Very well. Ugh! I need some more water. I can't even say. That's the delicious taste of H2 to the O, baby. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of books in random order, occasionally sliding one out, reading a blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arm. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there's large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from this room I had tea with Lily and snuck with us in here. I had tea with Lily and snuck with us. It's stuck? I don't know. Unless it was here to begin with. Something about it puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I recognize someone who's sitting on one of the several beanbags. Oh, hey, it's another main character, boys. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes it look like she's really into it. From the way that she was acting today, I had her pegged for more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious appearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself, as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've ever seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face. At least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. Until my eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I'm shocked and divert my eyes to the books in her hands before I realize that looking away only makes it worse. Let's see here. Choices. Takes too many seconds for me to collect myself and to... Oh. Yep. Alright, just checking. It takes too many seconds for me to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Alright, now which voice do I give this young lady? She was the first girl when I played through this game that I ended up doing her route. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether or not it's okay for me to sit, but she finally nods, just a little. Oh, okay. I take the seat next to her, and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. I guess, whenever this was released, I can understand that. Life of Pi's gotten more, press. So we're sorry for startling you again. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Her speech is a little stilted and so quiet that it is barely audible even in the library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say that's a nice name, just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other. And here I am, being all bothered and fussed about that sort of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and the introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction and sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars she's hiding. After a while, I realize she's doing the same, and only pretending to immerse herself in the life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. Oh, jeez. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I've got to go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see her? Did you notice a girl run past here? Maybe. Maybe. What did she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, some scars on her face? You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading something and I tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I'd better try to find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then? Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I was just looking for some books and then she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of is that I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. And she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder, it's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or they wouldn't be here. Calm down there, Hisao. You're throwing some mighty big rocks in a very thin sheet of glass. That is your home. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casual only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's only an elephant if you feel that way. Damn. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? No. It sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us had anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope it's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Is no one going to comment on Lily saying that I'm going to go find her as a blind woman? I mean, you know, with her, like, friendship and depth of, like, relationship with Hanako, she's probably had to do this more than once. But, you know, it's weird that Hisao doesn't think it. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprise myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I kind of started reading books to fill that time. Couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else, and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. You know, she didn't do anything like, "Wow, were you in the hospital?" Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind me startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who's talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the lighting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me? This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who's me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday? I don't think so. I think I'd remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, and his eyes are filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we've met, and you aren't telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can actually see anything through those thick glasses. His mode swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger to in my face, damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can pass as Hisao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there! Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. I could take this pee-wee scrub. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn it, it really is you. Sighing again. Then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good. Something wrong? I don't know. Just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. I can't get proper touch on other people here. And I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, that's rough, dude. Yeah. Sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all that, but you can never be too careful. It's a hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, this is how it is. This world, there's no justice, you see? Even when I lose, I win. Because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismissed it flatly with a wave of his hand. I feel like the, whole being legally blind thing isn't the only problem with him. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared off some girl accidentally. Literally, too. She ran away from me. You think you'd get used to that the first dozen times, but it just keeps hurting. I mean, it was my fault, really, I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair. And just, you could just... But the face? I guess I could go either way. You know what? I think it'd be bullying if I said that she wasn't cute. Let me just check really quickly. Yeah, she's definitely cute. She's just kind of like, she's just Phantom of the Opera-ing it, I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here, a strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of the school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Is he gonna warn me that I might be in a visual novel, or maybe a harem anime? Ugh. God, I hate NEETs. I mean, dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets, like extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you ever noticed that the number of girls is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that's a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no! What am I about to tell you that could blow your mind? Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much of it by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. That's really reckless of you, Kenji. I believe that this school is a battleground, a site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in numbers of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In this case, The Cold War turns hot. They will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against forces of feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women have the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of the military has always been the clear sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning. As expected of women. Soon the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That's why you can't trust them. They'll string you along and then you'll kill you. Just as they killed me. You'll end up just like me. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So? You're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah. Fast feminist conspiracy. Stop it. Stop. I lost you way back there. Somewhere around feminist infiltration? Too hard to follow? It's cool, man. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets? Who doesn't like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Fine. Graphs? How about them? Pie charts? Come on. I can show you my bulletin board. He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. Unless you're some sort of dream thief. Ugh. What the hell? What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. That would invalidate the whole last part. And that part is kind of important. There can only be one. Like the dude in the foreign movie where there could only be one. It's called Highlander. And in the end, there's only one dude left. Because that was the point. I've never even seen anyone talk so heatedly and defensively about absolutely nothing before. Well, obviously he's not into American politics. Opposing party. What are you talking about? Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. I also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies about the school that the school holds, as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. Good enough for me. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial's a terrible thing. Later. He claps me on the back and vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly it's like he didn't even open the door but instead walked right through it like a ghost. Is Kenji a ghost? I can't remember. Maybe he is. I don't know if I can fully digest what happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes and falling face first into the bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are so cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels so good just lying there with my eyes closed. The school is like some sort of bizarre, surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. It just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place made for people who are unfit anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't really take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as expected, though. This place is really is more of a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful, if you know what I mean. Wink. I opened one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe place is a little too much like a normal school after all. Sleepy boys. Oh, hey guys. I just looked at the time. Guess what time it is? It's time to save. Guys, stay safe. Have fun. And don't let the feminist conspiracy theory, get to you. I'm telling you, that 20% difference is gonna really make a huge difference in the trenches. One of those things is more important than the others. Bye!